What is up, traders? Hope everybody's doing well. Very crazy price action here today on Monday, but I did end up taking a nice W. A lot of lessons learned here today that I'm going to be going over in this trade recap, like waiting for macro timing and not being fooled by fake moves, and not FOMOing in and only demanding or taking a very small part of the pie is more than enough. I made over $500 on this very small trade, and that took a couple minutes. But in terms of the handles, obviously it's a lot of handles. I made this out of one micro. I made over $540, which is very nice. And then obviously, if you look at the moves, these big moves, you would think that you've missed out on everything and you haven't caught the move, and there's nowhere to capitalize on anything. All you need is a small piece of the pie, and that is a very nice. Here's a very nice representation of that, of my position taken today. So enough of the talk. Let's get straight into the trade breakdown, starting off on the higher time frame. So 4-hour chart, we already swept upon like market open on Sunday, the new week opening gap, and then we dipped down to that major sell side liquidity that I was talking about in the weekly forecast that I posted yesterday. So that was already met, and then when I said that after that sell side sweep, I want to see some sort of retracement into some buy side liquidity that I marked out, and you guys can go back and see that on the weekly forecast. I said there's a lot of buy side here that I want to see this all swept after, preferably I see this sell side liquidity swept here, which ended up happening today, right? Which I did not obviously capitalize on, which I'm gonna go over why that I wasn't able to capitalize on the initial move up. So again, we swept out all that sell side. So I was bullish biased coming into the day. I wanted to see price come up, and this 20% that you see here is basically the TGIF of last week's range, since we didn't have that last week. So it's expected to happen on Monday. If you don't know what TGIF is, I'm going to be posting it later through my mentorship videos. But I was expecting this 20% retracement from last week's range, which we didn't get in last week. So Monday, I was expecting that retracement, especially after the sell side sweep. So there's buy side here, and then coupling that with this buy side with this 1 hour inefficiency right here that I want to see. So that was my bias coming down to the 15-minute chart. 15-minute chart here, we had market opened, or actually, let me go straight down to the 5-minute. Just get straight to the, okay, so 5-minute chart here. Market opens, we dump very heavily and very strongly. People obviously believe that we're gonna enter short, and I know a lot of people that did enter short. Basically based because of this move without knowing the higher time frame narrative or bias. So we come down, sweep this sell side, we never close below it. We tap into this 5-minute inefficiency, and then we immediately boom up from there, right? And so I wasn't able to catch, there was obviously all this buy side right here, and then the buy sides that I talked about. I wasn't able to catch this entry where I wanted to. So there was 2 entries that I was looking at that I wasn't able to catch on this initial move up, which had I caught this would have been crazy. So obviously waiting for my macro time, which starts at 9:50, but I looked to enter trades at 9:45, so not entering trades before this. So all this I'm waiting, we sweep once, come back again. This is the 9:30 fair value gap. We inverse it during the macro. I'm looking for a retracement into it for me to enter. We didn't get that. We inverse, or this order block becomes a breaker block. I look to enter right at that zone, but unfortunately I did not get that entry. We fall short from it literally by like a couple ticks, like a tick or so, and we did not get that entry. But this was my first beautiful entry that I was looking for. It was this kind of entry below the 9:30 value gap. I was obviously going to trade with a very low size or small size, because the stop losses, and you can see, are crazy ridiculous. It's just how the markets have been moving lately. So I've been looking for this kind of entry, but unfortunately we did not get that retracement into the breaker block. So market moves, not FOMOing in, which is very important. I look to enter, my second kind of entry was around here. When we made this order block, I said if we come back and tap into it, I'll look to enter that. We never come in and tap it. So that was a second opportunity that I saw would have possibly been rewarding, but we didn't get that. And then, so after we sweep, all this buy side that I talked about. We tap into the 20% retracement, which is TGIF of last week, and we create SMTs with ES. ES sweeps the high, NQ sweeps this high, and then ES doesn't, right? Which is right here. If you go on the 50-minute, you can see there's SMT, ES didn't sweep that high, NQ did. So going back down to the 1 minute, I said, okay, I'll wait for the macro, 2nd AM macro, which is 10:50 to 11:10, and see what it presents, right? So 10:45 macro starts right here, or 10:50, but I look to enter at 10:45. What happens is we come down into this 5-minute order block, we sweep SMT with ES. I'm going to show you this on the 5-minute right here. So 5-minute order block right there, right? I'm not looking to make a new high, because for me, we've taken out that buy side. We have SMTs, which could carry out for the rest of the week, by the way. But we have SMTs. We've swept out that high. We've come back to 20% retracement of last week's, which is TGIF. I'm not looking to make a new high. I just want to see some short-term buy side liquidity be swept. So we have this SMT. You see this order block. We never close below it. We just sweep this low, which is very beautiful. Tap into this 5-minute fair value gap on ES, which I'm going to show you right here. If you go, here's ES. We never sweep that low. So this is the same low. Look, same low, right? SMT. Beautiful. So now we've respected that 5-minute order block. We've swept some short-term sell-side liquidity, tapped into a 5-minute fair value gap, and we have SMTs, and obviously during time of day, which is specific, very important, with the 2nd AM macro. So as soon as we come up, this next 5-minute comes back down, taps into this order block right here with this wick, and then starts to reject. As soon as we start to reject and close above this down close candle, I want to see this treated as an order block, and now we're going to push up. I enter my position, very small, obviously, because the stop losses are very, very huge. Stop loss literally below that candle wick right there, and then take profit was just simply at those highs, these double highs, and that's literally all I'm looking for. And you can see after that, basically price, all it did was consolidate, literally, right? And I'm going to show you guys my executions here. So executions, you can see I did not enter anything else before. There's nothing, right? I waited for time of day, and then let me take this off. But obviously this was a, 3.4 arc trade, which is very nice. Waiting for a specific time of day, a setup that I'm confident in, that I get the entry from, right? And I take that. And that's all you need. And that's 520, right? $520 just on that. So nothing else, no execution taken here, nor here, nothing. And only this, right? So that just shows you that if you don't FOMO in, if you wait patiently for a setup that you're confident in and that looks logical to you, and you get the entry where you want, you're just that much more high probability, and you're more comfortable like that even in the position, because you know it's A+. It doesn't mean that you're going to win every single time, but it just means that you're more confident and more comfortable in that position and holding it and riding it out. And eliminating FOMO really, really helps that. So that's going to be it. Hope you guys found this insightful. If you want more pre and post session analysis just like this, feel free to join my free Discord. Link is in the description. Also, I'm posting my free mentorship here on YouTube in terms of the video format. So if you want to watch that, feel free to do so. And I do have my one-on-one mentorship that's paid, obviously. So if you want to book your free discovery call to see if you qualify, link for that is in the description. My Calendly link is in the description. Hope you guys found this insightful. Until next time, stay safe and happy trading.